If you're a busy parent who sometimes wishes you had a clone, your wish can now come true. In this video, I'll explain how I clone myself for my own kids and how you can do the same for yours. Stay with me until the end for every detail, and you'll be ready to start cloning yourself today. I'm Adam Beck, and this is Bilingual Super Kids, the channel that can help you experience greater success and joy raising bilingual or multilingual kids. The reason I started cloning myself is because I was worried about my own bilingual aim when my children were small. You see, I was working a busy full-time job at the newspaper in town, and my long hours meant that I couldn't spend enough time with my kids. My wife was the main caregiver, and she used only the majority language, Japanese, with them. As I often stress, success at raising bilingual children is primarily about providing ample exposure in the minority language. And I was failing at this because of the limited time I could spend with them. I knew I had to do something to increase their exposure to English, our minority language, while I was at work. And that's when I started wishing I could somehow clone myself so I can engage them in English even when I couldn't actually be there in person. One night, after another long, tiring day at work, I hit upon the idea that could help address this problem. Once my kids were in bed, I closed the door of my little home office and I put my old video camera on a tripod. And then I recorded myself talking to them and singing to them and reading to them, just as I would if they were actually sitting right in front of me. Let's read this one. Down by the cool of the pool. This is a frog, right? I recorded myself for about 15 minutes. And at the end, I gave the camera a big kiss, like I was kissing my kids. And the next morning, I asked my wife to play this video for them while I was at work. Can you guess how they reacted? When I got home in the evening, she told me that they were captivated by the video. In fact, at the end of it, when I kissed the camera, my daughter, who was around 3 at the time, responded by kissing the TV screen. So now I knew that this idea, which I started calling Daddy TV, could be really helpful for engaging my kids in the minority language during my days at work. And this inspired me to make more videos. That night, I created another short episode of Daddy TV. Then I continued making more 15-minute episodes over the next couple of months. In all, I made about a dozen videos of myself talking, reading books, telling stories, singing songs, and just clowning around for the camera. Each day while I was at work, my kids generally watched 2 15-minute episodes. And we maintained this routine for the next 2 years or so until I was able to start working from home and I could spend a lot more time with them. If we calculate this language exposure, my kids watch Daddy TV for about 30 minutes every weekday, which comes to 2.5 hours a week, 10 hours a month, and about 120 hours of additional input a year. This means that my investment of a few hours up front to make the videos resulted in an increase of roughly 240 hours of language exposure over the 2 years we made use of this strategy. Of course, I'm not saying that Daddy TV, or maybe Mommy TV in your case, is equivalent to the parent being there in person. You still need to spend as much time with your kids as you realistically can. But when you can't be there in person because of work or other obligations, cloning yourself on video is probably the next best thing. Videos featuring parents are far more personalized and interactive than regular videos and TV programs. And because small children find the experience of the parent appearing to them in this way so engaging, even magical, their attention is highly focused on this language exposure. At the same time, I think it helps nurture that parent's relationship with the child. When you're working full-time and you're absent during the day, Daddy TV or Mommy TV is a way to stay present in your child's life, providing not only more language exposure, but more of your spirit in the child's mind and heart. And this strategy needn't be limited to the early years. You can make videos for your child at any age to promote more language exposure and even nurture new skills, such as making videos where you show flashcards for reading new words, or give a math quiz to practice multiplication. Daddy TV was one of the most effective actions I took when my kids were small. But it wasn't only effective, it was enjoyable too. And that to me is what makes an action particularly powerful and productive, when the action is effective for advancing your bilingual aim and enjoyable for both the child and the parent. If this idea could be helpful for your situation, I challenge you to make a short video for your child and see what happens when you share it. I bet you'll find, like I did, that cloning yourself in this way can make a really fun and productive difference in your child's development in the minority language. You might even create similar videos of grandparents, so your child can also enjoy regular episodes of Grandma TV or Grandpa TV. I know cloning yourself like this takes a bit of effort, but it's easy to do, right? Just pick up a few picture books and record yourself reading them. And once you have a video, you can use it over and over again. Think of the potential payoff for your family. But first, I invite you to share your impressions of this idea in a comment below. And if you pursue it, I'd love to hear what happens. Come back to this page and tell me about your experience. And be sure to subscribe to this channel for more ideas that can help you maximize the success and joy of your family's bilingual or multilingual journey.